One of my favorite questions to be asked is, how can I help myself at home? And one of the best things to pair with your adjustment is working on the soft tissues. Soft tissues are throughout our body, and they consist of muscles, ligaments, tendons, and more. And those soft tissues are supposed to be fluid and smooth and supple so that they move well. But it's very common for those tissues to become hard and knotted, and that can cause many symptoms. I want to show you one of the best ways, it's very easy, to work those out. You'll need a hard ball, such as a lacrosse ball. You can also use a tennis ball or a large bouncy ball. And first, I'm going to explain in principle how this works and what you're supposed to do. And if you want to keep watching later, I'll show specific examples of where to apply this at different muscles in the body. So, first, seek out a painful spot. When it's tender to the touch, that's an indication that those muscles are knotted up. And you can take the ball and place it between the wall or the floor and find that sore spot and then stay in that small area and work it out. And you can do this for up to 2 to 10 minutes. What you're looking for is that the symptom of that place should decrease. The pain should become less, and that's part of making it looser and more supple. You also can notice over time that it can become red or a little irritated, even feel like a bruise to the touch. And that's completely normal because you're guiding the healing process and changing those muscle knots. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to use the ball up on the head and jaw muscles. So first, it's helpful to have a book or something that you can prop the ball up on. If you're using this right on the floor, the ball can slip down into your neck. So if you prop it up on the book and place the ball right at the back of your head, at the bottom of the skull, set the ball there and relax your arms and relax into this position. And slowly you can rock your head or nod the head and use the ball to dig into those small muscles around the base of the skull. You can also use the ball into the muscles of your jaw, which are located in the side of your head, here by the temple, and also into the side of the cheek. And same principle applies while you move and do small movements using the ball to massage those muscles. And when you place it by the jaw, you can also open and close your mouth while the ball stays in the same place to work out the muscles of the jaw. Using the ball to help with shoulder pain can be used in some important muscles surrounding the shoulder. One of the most important muscles is the pectoralis major, this chunk of muscle that's close to your armpit. And you place the ball under the collarbone into that chunk of muscle. And ideally you would use a door jam, but for demonstration purposes today, I'm using the door. You want to place the ball and hold it with your opposite hand and lean your body's pressure so that it's putting pressure into that pec major. Hold the ball there and then move your arm. Stretch around in circles or go from your leg and reaching high, holding the ball there and stretching into the muscle. You can also place the ball on top of the trapezius muscle and move your head and your neck to stretch. So you place the ball and hold it with the opposite hand and lean into it on top of the trapezius muscle, and then you can rotate your head, look down, look up, lean to the side, and work out the knots you find in the traps. Into the rhomboid muscles, or levator scapula, here is my shoulder blade and here is the spine. Going between that region in the upper back, place the ball there and lean into the wall so your feet are offset from the wall and you're putting pressure into the wall and the ball. And as you wiggle around and work out that muscle, you can also move your neck down to the opposite side or looking straight down. And you can also move the arm from high to low or stretching across the body and stretching those muscles between the shoulder blades. A key place to use the ball for your shoulder is here on the lat tissue, this chunk of muscle that's in your armpit. You can use the ball against the wall or the floor, and as you put your body's weight onto the ball, You can find the sore spot and move your trunk rotating forward or back, or pin the spot down and move your arm reaching up or reaching forward and moving the shoulder joint in any way that feels productive. You can get into the lat muscle under the armpit to help loosen up your shoulder. Very good spot. Using the ball in the glute muscle, you place it out into the sore spot you found on the glute, and then you can grab your knee and bring that across the body or up and down off the floor. And that's a great stretch for the glute. You can also do that while sitting on the foam roller. Into the quadricep muscle, that's the front of the thigh. You can use the ball or the foam roller and find that sore spot you found in the quad, and then you want to let your body weight onto it and do small movements to work out that muscle. And you can also bend the knee up so the foot comes off the floor or down, up and down, to get the muscle moving underneath the contact of the ball. For the inner thigh, if you lay on your side, you're working the leg that's up, and you place the ball propped up on something like your foam roller or something else that's higher, and you place the ball onto the inner thigh, and you find that tender spot, support your head, and then let the weight of your legs sink into the ball. And once you find that sore spot, move your leg so you're bending the knee back and straightening the leg out. And you can also pick your foot up off the floor and back to the floor. Up and down, stretch it out, stretch it back. And those are ways to get into the inner thigh wherever you find the sore spot. One more for the lower back here on the floor. In this region underneath the rib cage, you set your feet up against the wall and you place the ball under the flank in the lower back. And you can use your feet to press against the wall and put pressure into the flank of the lower back. And that helps get into a muscle called the QL, or quadratus lumborum. And you can dig and jostle and move around and press into the wall so that you get more pressure where the ball is under the rib cage into the lower back. This is my favorite way to stretch the hamstrings. And the hamstring usually has several knots. When you find knots that are closer to the glutes, that can affect your back pain. When it's closer to the knee, it affects knee pain. So you place the ball under a sore spot in the hamstring and lean onto that side so you're putting more pressure on the ball. And then you move your foot forward and back, straighten the leg, bend the leg, and that will change the muscles in the hamstring and loosen those knots. This is a great way to stretch the knots in your calf muscle in the lower leg. If you use the ball or even a massage stick or a rolling pin, you can stand up and place your knee on the chair and then take the ball or the stick and find the sore spots in the calf and apply that pressure, and then move the foot so you're pointing and flexing or making circles all the way around, going both ways. And if you use the massage stick, you can lean into one side or the inside to apply varying pressure on the knots in the calf. And this is great for both knee pain or foot pain. If you have symptoms like plantar fasciitis or other pain in your foot, after you've worked the calf and stretched out the calf muscle, then you want to go to the bottom of the foot and work directly in the arch. In a standing or seated position, you place the ball under your foot and search around for the painful spot, and then step into it and do little wiggling movements to help loosen up that plantar fascia.